What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another rendition of Truth Be Told. It's your boy Thomas back with another video this week. I do have a few things to talk about. First off, an explanation for the warning at the beginning of my videos. Now I have to put that on there because YouTube is trying to force people to use their new beta version of which nobody likes, and they're trying to do this kid-friendly thing. I do curse sometimes, and I may curse every once in a while in my videos, so now I have to put that on there at the beginning of the video, which is dumb. Honestly, I just think it's plain stupid to try to force people to use their beta version. Again, nobody likes it. Everybody wants to use classic version of YouTube. Anyways, that's the explanation of that. The next thing I want to talk about is I don't even know why he made a video about this. It was kind of dumb. It was stupid. But I don't know how many of you are Steven Crowder fans. I like Steven Crowder for the most part. We don't always agree on everything, and that's fine, you know. He is pretty smart and intelligent. You know, he's funny sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes he is funny. He says some off-the-wall goofball things every once in a while, but that's just part of his act or whatever. He put up a video just recently claiming that he wasn't a Star Wars fan. Like, he just absolutely did not like Star Wars. Not that he hated it or anything, he said, but he just didn't like it. Which is fine, you know. I am a Star Wars fan, but I know people who don't like Star Wars. Not everybody likes it, so and that's fine and all. But there were a couple of things he should have done a little bit of research before he starts, mouthing off about it, because the fans are actually going to eat him up for doing that video. For instance, he's trying to say it's mainly for kids. Well, that's not true. Everybody knows that's not true. It's a family-oriented movie, so in other words, it's for all ages, not just kids. It's science fiction. George even came out and said this. He did trash George Lucas pretty bad. I mean, he definitely, like George Lucas just didn't know what he was doing and blah blah blah. The only thing he said that really I had to agree with, as far as being a fan, was the Jar Jar Binks character was really stupid. It was dumber than a box of rocks. And I agree. The Jar Jar Binks character, seriously, it could have done just fine without Jar Jar Binks. That's literally what everyone complains about the, the prequel trilogy, which I liked. I liked the prequels. Except for that character, it ruins it. Now, as far as the new 3 movies go, they are trash. They are horrible. They're politically agenda motivated. They're SJW, feminist crap, whatever that's been put into them, makes them terrible. J.J. Abrams is one of the worst directors ever. He ruined Star Trek, and then he ruined Star Wars. You know, you can't let this guy touch anything. He ruins it. Always does. I don't even want to go with The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson. Oh my God. You know, you definitely can't give him anything. He's an idiot. Ben Iger, or whatever the hell his name is, that owns Disney, Bob Iger or whatever. He's an idiot. You can't. He's already proclaimed himself a feminist. He's a dumbass. Kennedy's just as retarded. So, you know, you got. It's not Mickey who runs Disney anymore. It's Minnie Mouse. You know, Minnie Mouse runs Disney, and she's gone evil. So, you know, Star Wars is ruined, guys. You just have to deal with it. Disney's going to ruin everything that was good about, you know, movies in the 80s, and they keep doing it with all these reboots and live action and the Marvel series. They just ruin everything. But yeah, the new Star Wars is trash. You got to Mary Sue, who can't do any wrong, is able to get out of any situation that she comes across. She's given new force powers that no one's ever seen or known about. You know, she's just, you know, Miss Little Perfect, you know, and, you know, she gets everything she wants. So, nobody wants to, you know, read a story or watch a movie like that. That's just retarded. It's dumb. It's a horrible story. But anyways, enough about Star Wars. Moving on. You know, it's just, I know Steven Crowder's going to get ate up for it. You know, he doesn't have to like Star Wars, but at the same time, he should have done his research and got his facts straight before he went and mouthed off about it. All right, I watched a couple old 80s cartoons, the entire series of them. Perhaps one of the greatest cartoon series of all time is in the top 10. Is Dungeons and Dragons, and it ran from 1983 to 1985. It had about 27 episodes. The show was cool. It was neat. It was different, and I liked the comedy in it. Dungeons and Dragons is a must-see for anyone who's a big cartoon fan. Definitely check it out. The show, however, never showed the season finale or what, and never finalized before it went off the air, which sucks because it was such a great cartoon. Now there's, you know, a YouTube video that says this was the last and final episode, and it was like 2 hours long, and I was like, no, I don't care. I know what the final episode was called. It was called Requiem, but that crap on YouTube is not what the final one was at all. So ignore it if you see it. The next one I want to talk about was called Robotix. I had that catchy tune in your head. I can't find that theme anywhere. Just the intro to Robotix, you know, the cartoon. But anyways, this is about an hour and 30 minutes long. You know, if you decide to watch all the episodes, which there was about 15 episodes. They only did like one season of it. Hasbro was trying to, you know, it was part of their, you know, toy lineup back in the 80s. It was in 1985 was when it was done. It's about some guys who jumped in these robots. They had like little capsules that humans could climb into and then push buttons and then turn into different types of vehicles and stuff like that, and bust out new weapons. And I don't know, it was kind of strange, a little weird. The two types of course, you know, you have your bad robots and your good robots, and they had their essence or whatever put into the robots. These two different types of alien races. Some Earthlings crashed on their planet, and then the Earthlings started jumping inside of them and being able to push buttons and make them change, or what they called it, interfacing. I don't know, it was kind of dumb, but it you know, for a cheesy cartoon, it wasn't bad. It was all right. It wasn't really up, you know, something that I really liked or anything like that. It was just, it was okay. But the theme song, it stuck with me for years because they had that robotic talk where during the theme song saying robotics, and that's why I went ahead and watched it. But I give D&D 2 thumbs up. Definitely check it out. It's one of the best cartoons of all time. It's in the top 10. And then Robotix, yeah, I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. It's okay. It was alright, yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is I just now got around to watching Zombieland 2, Double Tap. I love the first Zombieland. It's hilarious. It's an awesome movie. So I had to watch the sequel. Jesse Eisenberg. I'm not a huge fan at all of Jesse Eisenberg. I've seen him in a few movies, but he's kind of like Melissa McCarthy. He plays the same damn character in all his movies. He just has 2 variations. Number 1 variation, he's really this nerdy, smart dude who, you know, is really sophisticated or something. Or 2, he's the really smart, nerdy dude who is kind of awkward in social situations. You know, he's just giddyish, goofy kind of. And that's the type he plays in the Zombieland movies. Again, though, I'm not a big fan of his. I don't think he's really all that great of an actor. But I love Woody Harrelson. He's hilarious in this. He's always hilarious in these movies. Emma Stone, I don't know. She's not aging all that great. I mean, she still looks good, but you tell she's aged. And then the other one, that Abigail Breslin, I guess that's how you spell it, or pronounce it, Breslin. I'm not sure. She's put on some weight. She's gotten a little chunky. But all in all, it is a really good movie. The only scene I had a problem with was the duplicates, when they brung in, you know, the duplicates that look like Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson. You know, that whole part right there with them in there, it could have been scrapped and the movie would have been way better. I think it was dumb. That part was dumb. Other than that, the whole pacifist group that they find or whatever, they're able to survive without guns. I don't know about that either. They look dumber than a box of rocks too. I don't see how that would have worked. But other than that, that whole scene with the duplicates, that was my only real complaint with the movie. They could have done without that entire sequence. But it's a good movie. Go check it out. I give it 2 thumbs up. Alright, let's get on to your B-movie reviews. Alright, you movie holics. Let's get on to your B-movie reviews. The first one's actually a classic, and the second one, it's the sequel to it, which we know how most sequels end up happening. They just tend to bomb, and they're not really all that great. There's no exception in this one, actually. Very rarely does a sequel actually come out really good. Like I was talking, the Zombieland sequel, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the best. So let's get on with it. This is actually horror week again. We're back to doing horror week. So I'm busting out a couple horror flicks this week. The first one, it was Robert Englund's debut film of him directing. The first one he did. It was done in 1988, and it's called 976 Evil. Not sure if you remember this or not. It only made about $3 million at the box office. I mean, it really, it wasn't a huge film or anything like that, but a lot of people do kind of remember this film. It's become a cult classic since then, because of the idea of an evil phone. It was unique at the time. It starred Stephen Geoffreys, Patrick O'Brien, and Leslie Dean. It was campy and cheesy, but it was actually pretty good. It was a decent film for back then, something to sit down and watch kind of thing, where you could actually watch it and get have a decent time watching it. It's basically about, the geek or nerd in school. He looks up to his cousin who's I don't know, the bad boy, the biker type. He wants to be like him because he thinks he's cool. Steven is his character is called Hoax, and he wants to be just like his cousin, which is Patrick O'Brien, whose character's name is Spike. Apparently that's his cousin or whatever, and he lives next door. Spike kind of tends to look out for him because he's kind of very awkward, nerd type or whatever. He kind of acts like he's just the innocent, like a little brother. He looks after him or whatever. Anyways, Spike runs across like a card in a magazine or something. I can't remember exactly how he finds it, But you know, it says on the card, you know, dial this number 976 evil and check out your horoscope. So he does. You know, this back when everybody was doing the whole let's do the psychic hotline kind of thing. So he goes and calls this number up, and he gets this sinister voice telling him what to do. And he kind of starts doing what the voice tells him to do, and it actually you know, as long as he's doing what the voice tells him to do, he gets things, you know, what he wants. But he comes to find out that there's something really wrong with this voice water, so he stops listening to it and he stops calling. Well, Stephen, or Hoax, he gets a hold of the horoscope card because he's snooping around in Spike's apartment. And then the voice, he starts calling the number and the voice starts telling him what to do. And he listens to it. But it's making him do some, commit murder and all kinds of weird crap. And he's doing it. It starts transforming him into like a demon-like monster. At the end, he kind of like turns his house into hell. Big old pits are opening up in the ground to hell and crap like that. And they got to fight him off. In the end, Spike beats him up and throws him in this pit of hell, and it swallows him up, and that's the end of it. It wasn't a bad movie. Like I said, it was kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it was campy, fun, you know, type of horror. It had some good, you know, with Robert Englund, you're going to get some, you know, those funny one-liners, you know, comedic one-liners. It has several of those in there, so it's kind of funny. Yeah, it was a good watch. I didn't mind it. It was not bad. I say check it out. You know, I give it 2 thumbs up. Wasn't too bad for Robert Englund's first debut, directorial debut. Alright, now comes the sequel, 976 Evil 2, called The Astro Factor. Now this was not directed by Robert Englund, and it was done in 1991. There is no box office information for it, because I think it went straight to video. Patrick O'Brien is the only one who comes back and reprises his role as Spike. And then you have Renee Assa and Debbie James in it. Renee Assa, or whatever his name is, he plays the bad guy. This was a little bit different. They totally missed out on the part of cashing in on the whole evil phone thing. You know, Robert Picardo was the, you didn't see much of him in the first one, but he was in the first one, and he played the so-called master, the guy who's telling everybody what to do over the phone. And he played, I thought he was doing a real good job as the bad guy. But in this one, they totally just blew off the whole phone thing for the most part. The only part about it that reminded you of the hotline, horoscope hotline or evil phone, was that the bad guy was calling all the time to the number. You know, he ran across some phone records that showed that the bad guy was constantly calling that number. That's the only reference to the phone. The rest of the time, you're just dealing with some guy who's gone mental from calling the phone all the time and is now trying to kill people. So that kind of ruins everything. Anyways, the bad guy is some student professor at a college. He has a thing for young women. He's become like this serial killer or whatever. Anyways, supposedly the evil phone or whatever gives him powers to be able to have, you know, the astral projection, out of body experience. You know, he can, you know, go to sleep and then leave his body spiritually. But also, as spiritually, he still can touch and interact with objects if he wants, which was kind of strange. So he's still going around killing people. And even though he's, you know, at the beginning of the movie, he gets locked up and put in jail. But he's still able to kill people because of this. You know, Patrick O'Brien, or Spike, figures this out. And Debbie James is the new female lead. You know, he runs across her. She just happens to be the daughter of the psychologist who is dealing with the professor. Nobody believes her when she's trying to tell them that he's still killing people. Anyway, Spike's the only one who believes her. Spike ends up getting killed, but by doing so, he's able to kill the doctor. The girl helps him kill the doctor. And instead, they arrest her at the end of the movie because they think she kills the professor. They think she kills the professor instead of Spike, so they arrest her at the end of the movie. You know, even though the professor got out of his cell and tried to kill her, she wasn't able to claim self-defense. They're all like, oh no, you killed him, blah blah blah, we're gonna have to arrest you and put you in, even though they know he was trying to kill her. So the ending to that movie was just jacked up. I didn't get it at all. It was retarded. Most of the movie was dumb. And of course, you know, he's changing, looking more demonic as the movie goes on, but it was dumb. It was a retarded ending. The movie was just, it wasn't good at all. I give this 2 thumbs down. The movie was really bad. You're not going to like it. I guarantee it if you watch it. But that's up to you. I should have known better. Most sequels, as far as horror flicks go, are usually pretty bad. This one was no exception. Anyways, there's you some truth and facts, in my opinion, on movies and such. Tune in next week. I'll have some action flicks to review for you. I think I'll go ahead and do a continuation of the Death Wish series, because I already started them, so I might as well finish them out. So tune in next week. I'll give you my reviews on those. Until next time, I told you be told the truth, and you just been told.